Hi folks, this is Don Meissner with the North Country Fishing Report. I'll bet you most of you have never heard of spiny water fleas. And you really should hear about it because it's affecting our fishing, our populations of fish in so many of the areas around New York State. Now, what are these? They're aquatic zooplankton. Now, what does that mean? They're little animals about 1.25 to almost 2 inches long. They have all these spiny, they look almost like arms coming out of them. But remember, this is a tiny thing. But they eat other zooplankton, and the zooplankton that they eat is the major food for a lot of other smaller fish and organisms. So what they do is they're a threat. They're a threat to the environment that they come into. Now, how they get into this? These are invasive species. They came in the ballast water of ships coming into the St. Lawrence River, and they've spread throughout the whole Great Lakes system. But I had a call from my friend who lives on Cayuga Lake, and he said, have you ever told people about these spiny water fleas? And I'm like, not really, because I really didn't know much about them. I remember being out in Lake Ontario doing a TV show and was with guides, and I wondered what all this mess of little white things in the water, and they don't just exist in the water. They're spines that come out of them, wrap around your fishing line, and they form such a barrier that your line gets to the point it can't even come through your guides, and it will affect the internals of your reel as well. I mean, these are a huge problem where they exist, and what's really tough is they will form massive masses. Massive masses, yeah, that's quite a combination of words. But honestly, they will be in an area, and if you're a troller, and so many people are, you come through that area, it'll foul up all your gear. I mean, it's a huge problem. Now, what can you do about it? The answer is probably nothing. There doesn't seem to be any way to stop them other than keep them from coming into the water in the first place. Now, how do you do that? It's no different than any other of these invasive species that we fear so much getting into our water systems and upsetting the balance. So they can come in buckets of bait. They can come in on your shoes. They come in on the bottoms of boats and canoes and kayaks. I mean, anything that you come out of a given body of water that has these water fleas in it can be transported to another body of water, and that's how invasive species spread. So I think it's important to be aware of this. You can go online and you can look up spiny water fleas and you can discover more about them. But again, we know that they're in the St. Lawrence River. You really see more of effect where there isn't strong current carrying them along. But they can actually move on their own as a mass, and they also they go from place to place because of currents and wind and waves, and it really is in a lot of places right now a huge problem. They're in Lake Champlain, they're in Lake George, there's so many other bodies of water that haven't even been reported yet, but they are spreading. And it's just another thing that we can worry about, all these invasive species that have spread into our area. Until next time, folks, this is Don Meissner with the North Country Fishing Report.